Welcome to Home Cinema and Tech Review. In this video, I'm going to answer a question from a user. Probably it comes everybody's mind. This is an ultra short throw projector and this is an ultra short throw ALR screen. Can you mount it on a ceiling and reverse this screen? Because it comes as a question. It comes from Ernest Sellers /D8C. I want to mount my UST projector on a ceiling and I need a 150-inch ALR screen for bright room setup. Can you help me to figure out what to buy? I will be using with Optoma UHZ68LV. This is one of the short throw models. And I'm going to look into that with the details when I have time. But mainly, I want to answer this question in a simple direction by showing you. Because it comes everybody's mind. Right now, this room is quite a bit of lit, and you're seeing. And I'm going to open up the ambient lights, and you're going to see how it's got affected. So this is the worst light setup, okay? This room is right now totally bright, and I have around where the light fixture is around 600 lux, maybe even high, from 1 meter distance from the lights. And you probably seen the room light set up thousands of times in my channel. So this is the picture. Right now the projector is in the echo mode, and this is an auto exposed scene. But I'm going to show you what happens if you reverse the projector. Then what you got to do, step by step. This is another projector for review, if you're wondering. So I'm going to hold the projector and reverse it for you, okay? Let me just do that. This is the screen material, and this is how it looks. Do you understand how awful it looks? Because it's the same principle. Let me just do it again. It's the same principle, and I'm going to repeat it. I did it in my videos. I'm going to apply, but before that, close the lights. What will happen is, if you ceiling mount this projector, okay, you can see me like this better. If you mount this projector, whether it can be mounted or not, because some manufacturers don't allow you to do that, some manufacturers do. So if you have a mounting position underneath, and if you got a menu that you can rotate the visual reverse way, so you can mount it on the ceiling, maybe you can. But what happens? If you open up ceiling lights, let's just consider like this. I'm going to walk through. Right now, this screen is ceiling light rejection. Although it's called ambient light rejection, let me just show you. Side lights are affecting a bit. Top lights, it's just closed, I guess. So this is the top light. It doesn't even affect. But when I do side, it affects like 30 to 40%, maybe 50. But if I go down, it will affect 100% because it's getting the light. So this is basically a ceiling light rejection, lenticular angled, 45-degree angled screen type. This is not a Fresnel one, and I'm going to talk about it, don't worry. Later on, I will hopefully show you with a Fresnel option. So right now, what we are having is our screen is blocking the light coming from the top, mostly, and this angle from the top, but just a little less. But direct top is blocked. This means if you got spotlights, that's great. If you got rounded Chinese lamp style, rounded hole around like bulb style light, then it will bounce around everywhere and also goes to the floor and bounce back, and it will reduce amount of contrast that you have. So if you reverse your projector, you don't use ceiling lights. What you're going to do, you're going to reverse the screen with the projector, because you have to do it together, because this screen only gets the light like this. If you reverse it, you have to give the light like this and then reverse the screen. What happens then, you don't use the ceiling lights, but you can mount ambient light LED strips all around like a cinema room, and you're good to go. You're going to have an ambient light. But if you open up a ceiling light, it will act like this. Think about ground as a ceiling. It will be like this. It will be ruining your image, ruining your dark colors. That's what happens. So I don't want to kill this idea, but potentially, can you do it? Yes, you can. Would you want to do it? No, you would not want to do such a stuff. One more thing is, let me just find the absence remote control and play another video while I talk about it. Let me just tell you another reason why you would not want to do such a stuff is, many of the ultra short throw projectors are heavy, bulky. They tend to be around 10 to 15 kilos range. So you don't want to, mount a heavy, very heavy projector onto ceiling. It's not, I think, intended to use this way. I mean, you can use it, and many of the Epson's extra bright or ultra bright series like used in the schools are quite heavy. I've shown you, I reviewed a second-hand bargain style projector review series. I did it, but basically, would you like to do it? Well, it's a question. I wouldn't like to do such a stuff, but let me know under the comment section, would you like to, put 10 to 15 kilos, maybe for bigger style projectors, like a professional level Hisense for movie, and many projectors out there for ultra short throw market, they are quite heavy. And when you mount it on a ceiling, you have to mount them quite, well, sturdy. If they fall, they will break anything underneath, and also they will break themselves. And in the end of the video, I'm going to speak theoretically, because I can't show you right now, I don't have a Fresnel screen, but if you have a Fresnel screen, they tend to have a circular pattern. So if you side angles with this projector screen is perfect, near perfect. I've showed you in the videos. I can go flat right to that seat or that seat. I can clearly see, just like an Oled TV, just like a good IPS level TV. But if you got a Fresnel, the circular pattern blocks everything around that circle outside. So you got inside of the circle is your visual, outside is a protective area. So what happens with the Fresnel? Well, you got a little bit of narrower side angles, like let's just say 30 degree, maybe in total 15 to 15 or 10 to 10 degree loss around the sides, left and right. But again, for the Fresnel screen, it will get the lights from the center position from your ultra short throw projector. They tend to design it like that. But you have to reverse that screen too. Once you do it, again, it will not block the light coming from the ceiling, just like I told you in the beginning of the video. So reversing the screen, creating another problem. I think what you should be thinking of, if you're going to use an ultra short throw screen, try to focus a default light setup, like put it on the ground, put the projector screen on the ground. One other thing is, people tend to forget, in my opinion, and that's a big fact. Maybe I am telling you in the end of the video, but let me just show you, not by telling you. He mentions about 150-inch image. In order to do 150, this is a 120-inch screen, I need to pull the projector far away. When I go further away, let's see how it's adjust its height, because when I pull it out, it will get higher. Okay, think about it. Okay, when I do it like this, the image goes higher. But even then, what happens? What happens is the amount of, you got to calculate a lot of stuff if you want to go big with the ultra short throw setup, because when you put it on a ceiling, take it out towards you, the screen gets huge, and also it will be getting lower. In order to do such a stuff, you got to place your screen probably quite low. And once you do that, you got to calculate everything right. First, you got to look for the throw ratio for such a stuff. And I showed you in the different videos. If the throwing ratio of your ultra short throw projector tend to be a little bit of longer compared to the other ultra short throws. For example, this is probably 30% having longer distance compared to my Xiaomi ultra short throw Mijia 4K, but that projector doesn't, even if it was 4K, this is beating it up. quite a lot. So that's why I am using it. So my focus is try to find your focal point, your minimal distance, and how much you have to go back, how much you have to go up or down. For example, right now, this is about more than 150 inch. Okay, this is probably 170 inch-ish size. I'm speaking roughly because this space I know if I add this around, it's going to be around 160 because it's also going to this wall. So if I go this big, first, finding a screen will be very difficult. Second, screen cost will increase a lot. I think the ideal way, getting a 120 to 135 ultra short throw ALR from the ground up, that way your image won't be high as, you know, like a normal TV style, perfect for your eyesight. Because when you go high, you gotta look up. When you go down, you gotta look down. Adjusting these things will be difficult with ultra short throw projectors. So think again if you ever decided to reverse your ultra short throw screen, if you ever, get an idea what would it be like if I use my ultra short throw on the ceiling, kind of like questions. These are logical questions. I'm not saying these are not possible, that those can be done, but for me, if I'm going to use it, I would be doing it on a white wall or a white screen instead of an ALR in a darkroom setup. But if you are liking, just like me, the contrast level of ultra short throw ALR screens, then I think you gotta give up some stuff. Like, you can make a couple of choices. For light choice, you could go LED and you could go spot. If you have spots, let me just show you this. These are LED lights and these are direct lights. They're not omnidirectional light. They're not going every direction. So if you got spotlights, it'll be like this, okay? Right now I'm not perfect, but when you angle it, it'll be better. So basically, if you got spotlights around the room, they might not go to your screen, but directly go below where you sit. So if you design your room lighting setup, you can really reverse the screen, okay? Any screen, ultra short throw ALR screen by any ALR screen, Fresnel or lenticular like mine. So basically you can do it and you can really enjoy it, but you have to create a light setup solution. Right now this room has light setup. Let me just show you. Okay, I'm going to return the camera. So this is a one ambient light here, another ambient light Philips Hue here, ambient light under the couch, completely Philips Hue LED strip, and this is the picture we are getting without the ALR, with the ALR. And this is an auto exposure setting of this camera. But if I do it perfectly exposed to screen, I'm seeing a TV level of quality in the echo mode, okay? Because my eyes adjust and look how bright the monitor is and backdrop is and the room is. I can read books. This is that light level. So this is a TV quality. And from the side of things, let me just go to the 0 point. This is the 0 degree angle, I call it, right flat. And I can watch it right beside it. But with the Fresnel, you will have a little bit of corner maybe give up on the angle, but it will block more ambient light. What happens in this room setup, if I open up this light, which is huge, it will go from here to here directly. Even though I have direct light, as you can see, it's coming softly, and also this way, it's not the lenticular angle way, but still it is just stealing a little bit on my contrast. But if I had spotlights just going down directly to the seats, okay, where we sit actually, that wouldn't be affecting this screen contrast. So you can build your light setup, because my light setup is awful. Let me just show you. This is not a light setup. Underneath, you will go blind and you can't see actual TV quality. Let me just show you. You can go like this. You can watch yourself. When you sit here, you can watch everything on the TV itself. But this is the worst light setup. So that's why I'm talking about the light setup of the room. If you calculate your light setup to LEDs, just firing down with the narrower optical elements just directly, spotlights, around on the seats, on the people, not onto the screen. And if you don't blow light around underneath the screen, because it will bounce back. Okay, it will bounce back. Let me just show you that with an example. Okay, I will put the camera here again. Okay, this will be another, this is another video. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to push the projector a little bit forward to get a better picture. This is a 120 inch. Okay, we gotta go a little smaller. So first picture got extremely better, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. Look how awful it is. I'm bouncing back the light from the projector because it's white, it's reflecting too much. It's just looking like this. It's not strong as this, but if you have spotlights going through the floor, and if you have a light floor will also bounce. Take a look at this. I'm right now bouncing from the floor. If I remove it, get it back. If you have a lighter floor, look at this. I'm not even directly using the light like this. So you gotta know where your spots are, where you're bouncing the light, if you're going to plan an ALR ultra short throw screen setup. I hope this video gave you enough information with the directional light and how it reacts with the ALR. But basically, I showed you in many videos, you can really catch the TV style visual. Let me just go instead of a black, because the darker scenes, this is an auto exposed camera right now. That's why it is fading, okay? Let's just go 8K clarity channel and show you a bright scene, because brighter you go, the camera is auto exposed to that scene, and then you will feel the contrast. I've explained it in many times, but people still see something and compare it to, look at this. This is a bright scene, and camera is right now trying to adjust to this scene that's looking like a TV. That's basically 500 nits, TV level, picture quality, and the contrast. And I can't really define what I see. I'm just trying to show it to you by HDR recording, and also I'm trying to show it to you with an auto expose settings. But our eyes, believe me when I say so, are far better than any camera. Probably around 8 to 12K each recording real time. So we are great creatures created by God. So that's what we are seeing is way better than I can show you through the camera. So let me know what you think under the comment section below. Would you ever thought such a stuff? You know, putting your ultra short throw on a ceiling? And would you be applying such a stuff like I showed you? Rotating the screen, adding the lights? Or would you be using like me? Let me know what you think under the comment section below. And as you can see, your questions might become my answers or my tutorials. I hope to see you in the next video. Until the next video, hoşça kalın from Turkey and bye.